When Drake is not making music, the rap superstar boasts on social media he's making millions through online gambling. Gambling online is just it's a wherever whenever kind of thing. You know, I've gambled at a restaurant. I've gambled on a plane. This morning, a new lawsuit accuses the rapper of glamorizing online gambling while misleading fans, some of them teenagers. Drake supporters might not want to hear this, but the situation has become impossible to ignore. Before going further, remember to leave a like and subscribe because the current moment in hip-hop is unlike anything seen before. It's a thrilling time for rap culture, a turning point filled with unpredictable energy and change. Right now, the music scene is witnessing something historic. The public unraveling of Drake's dominance, a spectacle that feels cinematic in scale. Not even Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, or Christopher Nolan could have written a story this dramatic. The highs, the falls, and the behind-the-scenes betrayal all make this a cultural event in itself. Here's where it gets interesting. Back in August, rumors began to swell that Drake and the controversial figures behind the online gambling platform Stake were having internal conflicts. Drake has a partnership with the online casino Stake when he posts about placing big bets. The lawsuit says it's not his money, but house money. So any reported losses are part of a marketing tactic designed to draw attention. Sources claim Drake's access to certain funds was restricted, sparking tension and speculation about financial strain and loyalty shifts within his inner circle. Stake's co-founder Eddie Craven, allegedly at the center of this storm, became the focal point of growing hostility. Reports suggested Drake was distancing himself from the team, and the online drama soon pulled in big influencers like Adin Ross, forcing them to choose sides. What started as whispers quickly turned into a full-blown feud, one that may be marking the start of Drake's most complicated downfall yet. The situation between Drake and the online gambling platform Stake has reached a new level of controversy. What began as minor tension has now spiraled into something much bigger and far more damaging. After months of apparent distance from the company, Drake suddenly returned to promoting Stake. But the comeback didn't go as planned. Following what many fans call his cupcake season, marking his 39th birthday, Drake resurfaced in a series of videos made for Stake. These clips meant to rekindle his partnership came across as awkward and forced, showing him trying to convince fans to join a platform that's already under heavy scrutiny. Gambling on Stone. In a climate where financial transparency is being questioned across major industries, especially in sports, his involvement raised serious eyebrows. Observers were quick to point out how tone-deaf the timing was with the NBA and other organizations under public pressure for ethical conduct. Drake's renewed endorsement of an international gambling service appeared reckless. Yet, that wasn't even the biggest twist. While listening to Tyler, the creator's new deluxe release, Call Me If You Get Lost, the estate sale plus, reports broke that Drake, Adin Ross, and the Stake team are now being hit with a class action lawsuit filed in Missouri federal court. The allegations accuse them of promoting deceptive gambling practices to millions of fans worldwide, blurring the line between entertainment and manipulation. This development adds yet another layer to Drake's already complicated public image, one that now includes not just musical criticism, but legal battles over corporate partnerships. This new lawsuit has officially thrown Drake and Adin Ross into one of the most high-profile legal battles of their careers. Filed on October 27th, the class action case claims the two influencers deliberately misled millions of fans about how their gambling sessions with Stake were being funded. What seemed like casual high-stakes entertainment is now being exposed as a carefully crafted illusion. According to the legal filings, Drake and Adin Ross allegedly presented their gambling as if they were risking their own money. In reality, the funds reportedly came directly from Stake, creating a false narrative of authenticity. That illusion encouraged countless fans, many of them young and impressionable, to believe they could win just as easily if they joined the platform themselves. The lawsuit argues that this deception violated major consumer protection and advertising laws, potentially leaving both men financially responsible for the losses suffered by users who followed their lead. Legal analysts say this could open a dangerous new precedent for influencer accountability, especially in gambling-related sponsorships that cross into financial manipulation. Eddie, come on. Yeah. Right. No. Come on. Just added $500K to vault balance, please. Okay. I'm sweating. If you can see my pit stains, I am stressing. Yes. Yes. Okay. We're Drake. We're clear. Yeah, we're clear. We're good. Thank goodness. Eddie, I owe you one. I actually owe you one. Oh my. Wow. And my that win came through. Oh wow. Oh my god. Wow. Train. Good. Good lord. We're clear. We're clear. Thank goodness. Good Eddie. I love you. Just know that I say this publicly and out loud. I love you. Good man. Thank you. Good man. I don't want to get in the way of this energy. The crew assembled here right now needs to stick together. I am not here to ruin that synergy. I need you guys to lock in. Get some win. What makes this situation even more damaging is how deeply it cuts into Drake's brand. His public image built on luxury, trust, and success now faces accusations of exploitation. Meanwhile, online defenders are scrambling, insisting that celebrity speech and sponsorships fall under creative marketing. But legal experts disagree, pointing out that when real money is involved, transparency isn't optional, it's mandatory. This lawsuit doesn't just target Drake and Aiden Ross' actions. It challenges the entire influencer economy surrounding online gambling. It's a moment that could reshape how stars use their platforms to promote billion-dollar industries under the guise of entertainment. While OVO supporters scramble to defend Drake from the mounting backlash, the evidence is starting to speak louder than any fan theory. Multiple clips have surfaced online showing Drake and his circle casually admitting that the massive amounts of money they appeared to gamble with were never really theirs. These videos taken from a recent private event featuring Drake, Aiden Ross, XQC, Party Next Door, Stakes founder Eddie, and other influencers reveal the truth behind the facade. In the footage, Drake openly discusses how Stakes' team controls the illusion of his wins and losses, admitting that the platform's founder often manipulates outcomes to make him look like he's dominating the game. What fans thought were spontaneous, high-stakes bets were, in reality, scripted performances built to sell a dream. That dream, of course, came at the expense of millions of followers who believe the hype and gamble their own money in hopes of similar success. Big yeah, just do what you do best. Talking crazy like, oh yeah, you know, like you guys and you're like fake. Yo, listen to me. When I tell you the amount of hours and the amount of I've been through with these guys in this chat right here, ups and downs, real money, spending each other money.
Doing this, doing that. These guys are I put it on everything. I love these guys are out here giving you the purest that you can possibly get. So, what you could feel however you want to feel and that's what I'm going to say and you can take it. You could take it or leave it. This is no longer speculation. It's confirmation. The very people at the center of the scandal admitted to manufacturing false narratives about their gambling experiences, creating an environment designed to mislead and profit from trust. Legal experts are already saying these confessions could become critical evidence in the federal lawsuit filed against them. The disturbing part is how normalized the deception had become. Drake and his team treated it like standard practice, laughing off the manipulation while fans unknowingly played into the illusion. What was sold as entertainment has now been exposed as exploitation. And the fallout could mark a major turning point in how celebrity endorsements and influencer marketing are regulated. In short, the mask has slipped and the truth about the Stake empire is finally out in the open. The growing controversy around Stake has exposed just how far things have spiraled out of control. 4 years, Drake and Aiden Ross have acted as the faces of a platform now accused of exploiting its own audience. Their promotion of a service designed to look glamorous has blurred the line between entertainment and manipulation. Behind the flashy lights and massive wins lies a system allegedly rigged to drain the same fans they once inspired. Stake's marketing strategy relied heavily on high-profile influencers to create trust and legitimacy. By constantly appearing on streams, social media posts, and brand integrations, Drake and Aiden helped normalize gambling for millions of viewers, many of them underage or unaware of the financial risks. And it didn't stop there. Media outlets, streamers, and entire online communities orbiting around these figures became part of the cycle, amplifying Stake's message without questioning its ethics. Legal experts are now pointing out that Stake's approach directly violates several international compliance regulations. Their alleged manipulation of gambling outcomes paired with misleading influencer partnerships crosses the line from marketing into potential fraud. The lawsuit filed in Missouri could become the first of many, setting a precedent for holding celebrities accountable for promoting unregulated financial systems. What makes this story so striking is how it mirrors a bigger shift happening in entertainment. Audiences are no longer just questioning corporate greed. They're questioning the artists who enable it. For Drake, who built his career on relatability and trust, this situation feels like a total collapse of that image. The man who once symbolized musical excellence is now being seen as a corporate mouthpiece chasing brand deals instead of artistry. And in a way, this entire downfall feels like poetic justice. For years, critics have accused certain stars of prioritizing profit over authenticity. Now, the same system they help build is turning against them, and this time, there's nowhere left to hide. Drake's partnership with Stake has become one of the most damaging and controversial decisions in his entire career. It isn't just about business. It's about ethics, influence, and the power dynamic between artists and their audiences. By teaming up with a gambling company that thrives on risk and addiction, Drake blurred the line between entertainment and exploitation. And what makes it worse is the demographic he chose to target. A younger, highly impressionable audience drawn in by his music, his image, and his lifestyle. This isn't speculation, it's strategy. Over the past few years, Drake has shifted his sound and collaborations to appeal to Gen Z listeners, working with artists like Yate, Central C, and Lil Yachty. This evolution kept him current, but it also positioned him in front of millions of fans who are still forming their values, their sense of identity, and their relationship with money. By tying gambling promotion into that cultural pipeline, Drake wasn't just making a marketing deal. He was normalizing a habit that could financially ruin the same fans who idolize him. That's what separates him from artists like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole, who continue to evolve with their audiences, pushing maturity, perspective, and self-awareness. Drake, on the other hand, has doubled down on staying cool at any cost, chasing trends instead of building meaning. And that's exactly why his Stake partnership feels so hollow. It's a reflection of his desperation to stay relevant rather than a desire to inspire growth. What's even more telling is how this pattern connects to his recent legal and artistic missteps. From his failed lawsuit over Not Like Us to his constant social feuds, everything seems driven by ego and impulse rather than principle. Drake isn't playing chess anymore. He's playing damage control. And every new move seems to dig the hole deeper. At this point, the controversy isn't just about gambling, music, or lawsuits. It's about an artist who built his empire on trust and connection, but is now actively eroding that foundation. The more Drake tries to control the narrative, the more he exposes what's really at play, a calculated obsession with staying on top, no matter the moral cost. The recent dismissal of Drake's lawsuit only adds another layer of irony to this entire saga. It perfectly encapsulates how his decisions and associations have begun to catch up with him. The man who once seemed untouchable is now standing in the middle of a storm he helped create. One built on ego, manipulation, and short-term wins. Drake tried to play a game of dominance using influence and legal power to control narratives, silence criticism, and protect his image. But as we're seeing now, when you move without integrity, those same tactics eventually turn inward. This lawsuit, alongside the mounting backlash from the state controversy, feels like a turning point, not just for Drake, but for a generation of artists who've blurred the line between authenticity and exploitation. The attempt to sue over artistic criticism, like his move against Not Like Us, already showed how desperate things were becoming. But losing this case reinforces a deeper truth. For all his power and resources, Drake's empire can't shield him from accountability. And it's not just him. His entire orbit, the Drakeverse, filled with personalities like Aiden Ross, DJ Academics, and others chasing clout and controversy, is beginning to collapse under the weight of its own chaos. Every scandal, every bad headline, and every desperate live stream adds fuel to the fire. Aiden's repeated controversies, Academics, public breakdowns, and now Drake's mounting legal troubles all paint the same picture. A collective defined by excess, arrogance, and self-inflicted wounds. What we're witnessing is more than just celebrity drama. It's the cultural unraveling of an era built on illusion. The flashy cars, luxury mansions, and designer lifestyles that once symbolized success now look like distractions from the truth. And as public opinion continues to shift, even Drake's most loyal supporters are starting to question whether his empire was ever built to last. At this point, the downfall isn't just professional, it's symbolic. It's what happens when influence outweighs integrity. And when fame becomes more about spectacle than substance, seeing this entire circle of personalities finally being called out and forced to face consequences feels like a moment of overdue accountability. For so long, their ability to skate by unchecked seemed untouchable, but now the cracks are undeniable. The facade is falling apart, and what's left is a trail of manipulation, greed, and poor judgment finally catching up to them. In many ways, it's poetic justice, the natural result of choosing spectacle over substance and short-term profit over lasting integrity. For Drake, the irony couldn't be sharper. The same artist who tried to control narratives, silence critics, and weaponize influence, is now facing lawsuits, public scrutiny, and the collapse of an image built on perfection. His empire, once defined by dominance, now looks fragile, weighed down by its own arrogance. Whether it's the state controversy, legal blowback, or public fatigue with his constant reinventions, the tide is shifting fast. And what's clear now is that this isn't just another bad headline. It's a sign of a deeper fall. The same fame machine Drake mastered for years is now chewing through his legacy piece by piece. The higher he climbed, the harder the fall. And from this point forward, it's going to be fascinating and maybe painful to watch how far things crumble before the dust settles. If you've made it to this point, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on how this story unfolds because it's far from over. And if you want a break from all the chaos, check out the next